Chickens dominate small acreage homesteads, but at roughly 80 cents per square foot in annual profit, they may be the least efficient livestock you can raise. 7 low-maintenance animals outperform them, and the real question is why most producers never run the numbers. A standard backyard flock averages 290 to 325 eggs per hen each year, but the numbers behind those eggs tell a sobering story. Extension guidelines set the minimum at 2 to 3 square feet indoors and 8 to 10 square feet outdoors per bird, which means a single acre supports only about 60 hens when factoring in rotation and foraging space. That scale yields just over 18,000 eggs per year, translating to roughly $1,680 in gross revenue at current farm gate prices of $2.30 per dozen. Feed accounts for at least 35 cents per dozen, so annual feed costs swallow $525 of that total. Labor, daily checks, feeding, cleaning adds up to about 30 hours per year for every dozen birds, with no real way to automate the work. After subtracting feed, housing, and modest sales of manure or chicks, the average net profit sits around 80 cents per square foot annually. The margin is thin, and the ceiling is low. For anyone relying on small acreage, these figures set a hard limit on what chickens can deliver. Choosing the right animal for a small farm starts with 5 core questions. How quickly does the animal reach market weight or start producing? Maturity speed sets the pace for your returns. Feed conversion comes next. Some animals turn every pound of feed into more eggs, meat, or milk than others, which means lower costs and higher margins. Stocking density measures how many animals you can raise per square foot, a critical factor when land is tight. Pricing is just as important. Premium eggs, gourmet meats, specialty fibers, or honey can command double or triple the price of standard chicken products. Finally, look for multiple revenue streams. Some species offer not just food, but breeding stock, fiber, byproducts like wax or manure, or even services such as pollination or brush clearing. Weighing these 5 axes lets any producer compare options side by side and spot opportunities that traditional choices often miss. Quail and rabbits stand out for their speed and density, rewriting the math for anyone chasing quick returns on limited land. Coturnix quail begin laying eggs at just 6 to 8 weeks old, less than half the time it takes for a chicken to reach production. A single quail can produce around 300 eggs a year, and with tiered cage systems, up to 1,200 birds fit comfortably on a single acre. The numbers add up quickly. Eggs sell for $4 to $6 per dozen at local markets. Quail meat commands a premium, often $15 to $20 per bird. Feed costs drop by nearly a third compared to chickens, and labor requirements are lighter, about 20 hours per year for 100 birds. Net profit per square foot can reach 3 times the chicken baseline, with some small operations reporting a jump from 80 cents to $2.40 per square foot after making the switch. Rabbits take the concept of turnover even further. A single doe can produce up to 16 kits every 2 months, and those kits reach market weight in just 8 weeks. Stocking rates of 10 to 12 does per 100 square feet mean that even a modest footprint can yield hundreds of pounds of meat per year. Rabbit meat sells for $8 to $12 per pound, and pelts and manure add extra income streams. Feed conversion is strong, 3 pounds of feed for every pound of weight gained, and labor stays manageable at about 25 hours per year per breeding doe. For the small acreage producer, these animals offer a path to consistent high-margin sales without the slow ramp-up or space demands of chickens. Profit on a small farm isn't limited to selling meat or eggs. Several low-maintenance animals create income streams that chickens simply can't match. Goats, for example, are in demand for brush clearing contracts. Landowners and municipalities pay $15 to $30 per acre per month for herds to tackle overgrown lots and reduce wildfire risk. A single goat can clear up to an acre of brush in a day, turning a natural grazing habit into a steady source of service income. Beekeeping opens a different kind of opportunity. Beyond honey, which fetches $6 per pound at local markets, hives can earn $185 to $225 each season through pollination contracts with fruit or nut growers. Beeswax adds another layer, selling for $15 to $20 per pound, and it requires little extra labor once the colony is established. Alpacas bring in revenue through luxury fiber. Each animal produces 5 to 7 pounds of fleece per year, valued at $3 per ounce, and breeding stock can command $1,500 or more. Ducks offer another specialty. Their eggs sell for $6 to $12 per dozen, and certain breeds keep laying through winter when chickens slow down. Hair sheep, such as Katahdin or Dorper, generate cash from both lamb sales and grazing services, thriving on marginal land with minimal handling. For the small acreage producer, these animals transform a limited footprint into a web of income streams, service contracts, premium products, and specialty markets that push well beyond what chickens alone can provide. On a dollar for dollar, square foot for square foot basis, the old pecking order flips. Quail take the top spot for net profit per square foot, followed by bees, goats, alpacas, rabbits, hair sheep, and ducks. Chickens, once the go-to for backyard income, now sit at the bottom of the chart. Quail outpace chickens by up to 3 times the margin, while bees and goats both deliver higher returns thanks to pollination fees and vegetation contracts. Alpacas and rabbits edge out the baseline with premium fiber and rapid turnover. Ducks and hair sheep round out the field, each beating chickens in annual profit and labor savings. For the small acreage producer, the numbers tell a new story. Better options are waiting in plain sight. Every decision comes down to the numbers. How much land, how much time, and what each animal returns for every dollar and hour invested. When you map profit against labor and space, chickens fall short on every curve. The most efficient species push higher along the value axis, while chickens cluster at the bottom, limited by slow turnover, thin margins, and few ways to scale. For the small acreage producer, the gap is clear. Opportunity lies where cost and output intersect, not where tradition draws the line. Today, every square foot and every hour count. On limited land, faster turnover, premium products, and stacked revenue streams outperform tradition. Profitable small acre farming starts with challenging what's always been done. What would you raise?